What is good, everybody? Welcome back to John Dropper Sports. I'm your host, Sean T. Stewart, back here with the crew, baby. Yeah, A. Smith in the building. You know what's going on. D. Stevenson in the building. You know what's going on. Today is a very special day. It's a very special episode, you people. This is the South Carolina 2024 year-end review show. We've been waiting to do this for a long time, y'all. We've been waiting. Look at you see the gear, you see what's on my, you know what I'm saying? You see what's on my hat, you feel me? D, his degree says it all. Ace, but brother, hey, teach him. You know, you gotta teach him.
Oh, he got something coming around that corner. But one thing about Ace, something around the corner, some type
Yes,
of fandom,
so, bro, some type of prop. Hey, look, bro. Hey, look, man. This man has gone triple platinum on X. You know what I'm saying? Meme of the year, man. But everybody, bro, golly, man. How y'all like? Look, man. Quick thoughts, bro. How do we feel about the 2024 season before we get into the show?
I'll let you hit that base. You go first.
Look, brother, at first we had concern, starting with that Old Dominion game. And after that, Kentucky with a way to bounce back from there. I think from there, LSU, we know how that went. Me and T saw that live and uncut, on 4K or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The black and white got us. Cool. Wouldn't bounce back, against Akron? Akron, good bounce back game, good lick back game. Ole Miss, we didn't wake up that day. Cool. Let's see. Then we got Alabama. I was there, live and uncut, 4K. Kind of shot ourselves in the foot there, you know what I'm saying? But I think that is when the tide turned, but no pun intended. But we'll get to that later. Let's see. What else we had at there? Oklahoma. Straight first 5 minutes, straight, move. Defense woke up angry, pissed off, let's see. Who we had at Oklahoma? Who we put the belt to at Oklahoma?
Oh, Texas A&M at those home.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M, man. Put the belt, the power of Willie B, the power of Sandstorm. the power of Sandstorm. Then who we give the belt to after that? Who got the belt after that? Was it Missouri? Am I cutting ahead too quick? Am I going ahead?
You cut you look too quick. So then it went Vandy. When that's our schedule. That's our schedule as you up and pray every year. You know what I'm saying? You know what we got to do when that team come around. Beat Vandy, then Mizzou. Mizzou was after that. Yeah.
And Mizzou tried to scare us. Good old Drinkwitz. Drinkwitz had our number for about 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. Even his Appalachian State days. That's how long good old Elijah Drinkwitz had our number. Put the belt to him. Then we put the belt to good old Wofford, our guys up there in Spartanburg, up there in the Berg. Had to send them out, send them the good way. Then I love this. This was a good belt. This was a good whooping here. This was a ain't nothing like just going into a good old stinking old Pickens County and putting the belt to good old Dabo old team. Ain't nothing better than just doing that. So, brother, I know this was long. Went 9-3 in the regular. We ain't gonna talk about the Cheez-It Bowl. 9-3 regular season. I think it was a success, brother. To me, it was.
I have to agree. D, what were your thoughts, man, on the 2024 season?
You know what, man? I'm gonna try to piggy off on Ace, man. Obviously, the ODU game. A lot of people had questions. Even my roommate, you know what I'm saying? He a ODU grad, so he was giving me smack all year long about that. But kind of like Ace said, man, like just going through the year. Obviously, the LSU loss. That was just to speak for himself. What we saw from the refs, and, just unforced penalties and everything, man. I feel like like the Bama game could have went our way, just one final play. You know what I'm saying, in the end zone. We could be talking about a different scenario. You know what I'm saying, at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Just 7 in a row at the end of the year, and like Ace said, man, we going to the city of vomit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't anybody really worrying about them boys, man. All that orange, man. We ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Go down there and get a win in Death Valley. You know what I'm saying? Didn't finish the season the way we wanted to, especially with the bowl loss. But, man, for me, man, I just think it's glorious. That's one way I can put it. It was a glorious season just to see, what happened. Dabo, we on your ass, man. I'm just letting you know that right now, bro. We don't rock with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? We all got beef with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got that big a beef with you, but my partners, they got beef with you. Feel me? So that's all I'm gonna say. I just don't like Cuz. But anyway, I don't like Cuz. But nah, I just think it was a glorious season, you know, and we got work to do, but I loved it. I loved every moment of it, man. I loved every moment of it.
Man, look, bro, I gotta agree with everything y'all boys said. This was one of those years where it was different. It was different because Beam obviously came in with some expectations on him. Things had started to swirl around the college football landscape in terms of whether his job was secure or not. And I thought he coached as if his job was on the line. They I think this team responded in big ways. I think after the 3-3 start, this team could have easily folded up, but this team definitely, they found their identity in that 6-game stretch. I think we figured out what this team needs to be in order for us to be able to be a team that can compete in the SEC. That was one of my biggest things coming into the year. Like, hey, were we ever going to figure out what we needed to be as a unit? Were we ever going to find our identity? I thought we did that along the way in 2024. Lenore Sellers obviously being one of the biggest, newcomers to the team in terms of how he changed the aspect of the offense. Because, if not for him, a lot of these games that we watch go a different way, and having impact players on your team change a lot. And it boils down to what Beam has done in recruiting, whether it be in the portal, whether it be on the road and on the high school trail. What he's been able to do and what he's been able to build culminated into this season. And I thought this team very much played to a level that I don't think any of us thought they could get to. Remember, coming into the year, I said, hey, look, there was reason for optimism. Didn't know that the optimism would mean you go on a 6-game stretch where you beat A&M, Mizzou, Oklahoma, and in spectacular fashion, and go on the road to beat Clemson as well. I didn't think that would include games where you go toe to toe with LSU and Alabama, and I didn't know if I saw all of that in the cards for it. So definitely a season where I was definitely proud of what this team accomplished. But with that being said, let's get to some of these team superlatives. So we have, just for everybody, we have the team MVP, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, and rookie of the year. And then we have some coaching grades coming up. But just to focus on the team superlatives, team MVP, who do you guys have as do we want to do team MVP first, or do we want to do rookie of the year first?
Obviously the rookie of the year, man. We can go ahead and jump on that shit. We already know what the rookie of the year is, man. It's I think Lenore's. I think just seeing him grow, throughout the entire year, and just seeing him develop throughout the entire year is pretty much what we've been wanting from a quarterback for so long. And then his confidence has just grown, and just watching him take over games, and just watching him being, just feared by a lot of defense coordinators for him being studied as a freshman. It was just great to see, and it's only going to get better from here. But I think the attention that is drawn, to him throughout the whole entire year is just like, how do we stop this guy? Because a lot of people are saying like, hey, like, he's good on his legs, but then again, once you try to take away the run, he's good passing. His passing game is trying to, what I'm saying? Obviously, we talk about the weapons that we need to make him more efficient, but however, like, he's utilizing his skills that he has, and it's like he has X factors. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's been like showing all year long. So, that's my pick, for rookie of the year. But like, I don't know what you guys think about it, but to me, it's just clear as day.
Ace, what you thinking?
Rookie of the year, man. You got to give it to Lenore's. From seeing him at the ODU game live and close, I was nervous. I was nervous for him. I ain't know what to do. It was a big question mark after that. I didn't know if he was ready yet. I didn't know if he needed another year to sit behind. I don't forgot my man name. Robbie Anderson. No, Robbie Ashford.
Robbie Ashford.
Why the hell did I say Robbie Anderson? But anyway, I'm thinking other fans. But anyway, yeah, let him sit behind Robbie Ashford. But man, it's like he learned it. He learns from his mistakes and he tried to do better the next drive. It's like late in the Clemson game. What I like is miscommunication with Nick with Nick Harbor, but they went and bounced back, top down on the sidelines. I was like, all right, but I want to go back out here on the field. And he took control of the game by himself. And like we ain't see, like I promise you, we have not seen a quarterback like that could just take control of a game, put the team on his back, like I'm going to win this for y'all. A rivalry that he even said in interviews he didn't care about. He grew up the other side of the border fans or whatever that rock that baby powder blue, whatever the hell you call it. But he grew up a fan of them, those people. But he came to South Carolina. He was like, you know what? I'm going to win y'all this game because I can do that. So that's that LeBron James mentality. That's that Michael Jordan. Well, more so Michael Jordan mentality. But that's that mentality that you got to have as a quarterback. So, yeah, man, give it to Lenore's, dog.
So I'm not gonna lie, man. This wouldn't be Jump Dropper Sports if we didn't have some type of shakeup. I gotta go the opposite way. So for Norris, I didn't want to give him Rookie of the Year. I'm like, you've been here. I seen you in games prior to. So because I've seen you in games prior to, you are disqualified for me to win Rookie of the Year. But my Rookie of the Year is Dylan Stewart, Neff. This is the true nephew of the. This guy was nephew of the week multiple games in a row. This guy had a crazy impact when you think about who was the guy opposite of Kyle Kennard. Because mind you, before we knew about who Kyle Kennard was, we knew who Dylan Stewart was, and we knew coming into the year, hey, this guy has the potential to be a guy that we've talked about before in Jadeveon Clowney. He had the potential coming into the year to be that type of impact, and I have to say, will we not agree that he had that level of impact on the season? Based off of you look at what Clowney did his freshman year and the team success, and you look at what Dylan Stewart did his freshman year and the team success that followed, I would say their impacts were similar. I won't say who was better. I would say, well, I can say this. Dylan Stewart has more of a repertoire in his pass rushing bag than I've seen Clowney have in his freshman year at South Carolina. And I thought he played such a huge role because, I mean, it was important that Dylan Stewart be this type of impact guy because he was a blue chip recruit. He was a guy that I was surprised that we were able to get. I was surprised even this offseason we were able to keep. And I think it definitely means something for Beam in terms of the outlook of his program to younger recruits, to younger guys that are coming out, guys that are going to be ESPN top 300 guys. Like, you can come here, you can come to South Carolina, you can have an impact and have that impact immediately. And I thought Dylan Stewart was definitely one of those guys that he's going to be remembered as one of the more important guys. If he stays a Gamecock, I think he's going to be one of the more important recruits in Beam's tenure here at the University of South Carolina, man. Just what he was able to provide and a defense that he helped anchor. This was one of the better defenses that we've seen in Carolina history, and it's all in part of what Dylan Stewart was able to be early on and what we were asking of him as a true freshman. So I think Rookie of the Year for me is gonna be Dylan Stewart. Now moving along, I guess we can go then Offensive Player of the Year. Now Offensive Player of the Year is where I say Lenore Sellers. And this is where I want to give young bro his flowers. This guy,
love that smile. That's such a proud dad moment,
bro. Because if anybody knows, I watched Lenore's play during the playoffs in his senior year, and I just couldn't understand how this guy didn't have a South Carolina offer. How where did he come from? Why was the buzz on him so late? I saw him in person for the first time. I'm like, dog. When I saw him against Northwestern in the state title game, I'm like, this is the best South Carolina quarterback I've seen. Like, in my time of watching South Carolina high school football, I said, this is the best quarterback I've seen. I couldn't have told you he would be this. Like, this quickly. He got better each and every week. Like you said, Ace Andy, like that ODU start, very nervous. I didn't know what we were going to get. But each and every week you saw him play. By the time we get to LSU, we start to see, this is the kid that we were talking about. These were all the measurables and all the attributes that came into play that makes him that dangerous of a player. And you talk about the quarterback rankings that they had during the preseason. And remember where Lenore's was in those ranks. And you talk about where he ended up, and we knew he was going to end up there. Like we had a feeling, but I don't know. I think when you have to watch it materialize in real time, it's still amazing, even when you predict it. And for him, I mean, he's one of the best in the nation. I guess there is no question to me. And you talk about his class, you can talk to me about Nico Iamaleava all you want to. You can talk to me about Arch Manning all you want to. But the only guy from that class that is bona fide, that has shown me today, he is the one, is Lenora Sellers. And the only other guy outside of that has been DJ Lagway in Florida. But again, we ain't worried about none of them boys. It's all about us right now. And Lenora Sellers, for me, proved every single bit of the preseason hype that fans had about him to be correct. There's still more for him to grow, and that's the beauty of watching him play. We know there's still another level for him to reach, and I don't think he's close to scratching. I don't think he's close to scratching the ceiling of what his potential is, and that's what has me excited for 2025. But that's what makes him my 2024 Offensive Player of the Year.
And that's the beauty of it, because that's one thing about Norris. One thing about his peers. One thing about the coaches always rave about him is, when the game is over or when they get off time, they be like, all right, so what we about to do? What we about to practice on? What film we about to watch? He's always watching film. He's probably watching film. The time this recording right here, he's probably watching film right now, or on the weight room or on the field. He's working. He's always constantly working. You never hear noise about out parties, stuff like that. He's not that, you know what I'm saying? He's not that not no Shedeur Sanders type of flashy or nothing like that. He's more so like a he probably wear Nike joggers, Nike Air Maxes, just regular Nike shirt type of guy, no chain or nothing. Probably don't put no cologne on nothing, but
right.
Basic type of guy, chill guy.
You can tell he's truly immersed in wanting to be like the best version of himself as a football player. You can tell like that. That's what his MO is, and like you said, like when have we ever had a quarterback that we could say was doing that? Like, you know, we had guys that were that possibly did, like Connor Shaw or Perry Orth, that were probably locked in like that, but they didn't have the talent. When have we ever had a guy that has the talent and then have the work ethic to then match that talent? And I mean, I think you can tell that's what he's about, because you don't get better like that the way he got better if you're not constantly trying to figure out ways to improve yourself, watching film constantly. Like, he was a guy that constantly improved, and that work ethic and what he does behind the scenes definitely plays a part into that.
Yeah, man. And it's like he the complete opposite of what Steven Garcia is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Steven Garcia, he'll go out there, give you 300, go drink some beers at 5 points afterwards. You know what I'm saying? He was that type of guy. Go ahead, D.
Yeah. I think it's like you said, I think he's very, like, head knows, into what he's doing. He's definitely somebody who you wouldn't expect to be the life of the party. You know what I'm saying? And it's so weird because, like, it's from a marketing standpoint, it works for him, because a lot of people around the country, they see the glasses and they be like, "Yo, that's our quarterback." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But I mean, like you said, he's a guy who just wants to play. He wants to win, and all season long, like, he's been working his ass off. You know what I'm saying? He's been working his ass off, man. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I just think, it's just gonna get better, from here, because he's a guy who really wants to get better. He's a guy who wants to be great. He's a guy who wants to win, and he's a guy who doesn't want to settle for ordinary. And I feel like us as fans, we've been dealing with ordinary, and as I say, Tease, it's mediocre football for a long time. So we definitely on the verge, and he's definitely on the verge. And I just think, like, this year offensively, like, he's really set the standard, not just for, like, him, but, like, every position on that field, every 11 man on that field. Like, he's setting the standard. Like, yo, like, we not gonna settle. We not gonna settle for anything. I'm trying to think, like, even the Clemson game. So you look at that, a lot of people really thought, like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying, but he ain't settling for nothing, man. So, he'll go. He could be one of the best, if not, on the verge of being one of the best Carolina quarterbacks of all time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, T's already made the claim. T's already made the claim, man.
I think I made that claim. I think it was A&M after I made that claim. I think I was like, yeah, he's already there. He's already there. But I guess we can move it along. So now, Defensive Player of the Year. This was pretty easy. I think we all got the same one. Kyle Kennard. Shot 5. You know what I'm saying? Got 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? If I can't think of a guy that's been more impactful as a transfer, I think in this transfer portal era, I think he would be. He's up there with. I mean, I think he's above Spencer in terms of his level of success that he's had in the program. I think Spencer's important to the program because of what changed once he got here. But I think Kyle Kennard is definitely the best transfer portal guy that we've gotten. A guy that came in instantly and became the leader of that group. Like you're talking about a group that had Tonka Hemingway, T.J. Sanders, Alex Huntley, and so you're talking about a group that had a myriad of South Carolina guys that have been here. These are all fifth-year guys, and he became the leader of that group. And to do that in such a short span, coming in in the spring, and then being the guy by the time we start the ODU game, and then the level of consistency through that span, and then giving us one of the best seasons that from a defensive lineman that we've seen in South Carolina in quite some time. I mean, it's been a while since we've had a dominant defensive lineman that can get after the quarterback. We've had guys here and there like Kingsley Enikbare. Like he was a dominant guy, but he wasn't a true pass rusher in that sense. Kyle Kennard was a hand in the dirt, go get the quarterback. Third down, you know what we're dialing up. We got pressure from both our edges, and Kyle Kennard is probably going to be pouncing on top of your quarterback on the for a big time play. He changed the defense because a defensive group that we weren't sure about. I won't say we weren't sure about. We just didn't know who was going to be the guy to step up. We knew we had some vets coming back, but I don't know if Kyle Kennard was on the bingo card to be the guy that was going to lead that group into the 2024 season. So shouts out to him also being recognized nationally as the best defensive player in the nation as well. So this was pretty easy. Shout out to Kyle Kennard and what he did for South Carolina in 2024.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a list. There's really a list you can really choose from. Either like Nicky Memorial, a guy that we have praised plenty of times on this podcast. You can throw in Demetrius Knight. You can throw him in there as well. And like we just talked about Dylan Stewart, but the guy that has shown, that has flashed, that has been there on every down, every game. I don't think I ever heard of Kyle Kennard missing a game this year, dog. But besides Sear Knight, maybe, but bro, it got to be Kyle Kennard. I did not know much about him coming in out of Georgia Tech, but the brother could stay at Georgia Tech too and still hoop as well. So we are thankful. Whoever is scouting or how they doing the transfer portal or whatever, they are doing a fantastic job. And which leads me to be confident going to the next season as well. But I know that we are losing a lot of keys on this defense this year to draft, basically. So, but hopefully we can get another guy that's opposite of Dylan Stewart, just like Kyle Kennard. But man, he has really done a great job this year for us. So yeah, shout out Kyle Kennard, man.
Hey man, Double K set the standard, cause look at Dylan Stewart. He was a good compliment for an up and coming freshman. Who got acknowledgement in his own right. So I'm saying, like you said, Ace. We losing a lot of good weapons on that defense due to the draft, man. But like Kennard, bro, like just explosive guy, strong, physical, and he do like. Man, you know what I'm saying? And it's just that 1-2 punch between him and Dylan. That is truly gonna be missed, next year. Dylan does gonna come in and do his thing, but like Kennard just kinda like set the tone, especially with the portal, man, like him coming from Georgia Tech, coming here and just immediately made an impact, like immediately. I was looking into like camp stuff last year and I was hearing stuff about him in camp. You get what I'm saying? So he's a one-on-one. He's one of the ones, man. He's one-on-ones. He's just probably one of the best in a short period of time. One of the best impactful defensive players that we had in South Carolina history, man. He's definitely deserving.
And hey, you said something. I forgot. That's how good this team was. I definitely forgot about Nicky Memorial. After any other year, God, I gotta get some praise to Nicky Memorial at some point, but I think I'll probably just do it right now. Any other year, Nicky Memorial is the defensive player of the year because I think what he did in a lot of critical games. I don't know if people understand how good he was. Like obviously the interception showed up and on tape, you know, he flashed. But there are moments in games like, for example, Missouri. There are plenty of times in that Missouri game where Luther Burden could have broke one out. And like typically in a common South Carolina year, Luther Burden breaks out one of these plays and a missed tackle out in open space, and Luther Burden going to the crib for more than just the one touchdown that he had. There are so many plays that were erased by Nick Emeagwari, and this is what makes him one of the best safeties coming out of the college ranks. He's probably, if I'm being honest, he's only behind to me Caleb Downs, and depending on what you need, he could be your guy. I know how you feel. I know how you feel about that. But I got Nick Emeagwari as safety number 2. I gotta do it, bro. Like I know how you about to call it. But Nick Emeagwari, bro, I think for a South Carolina kid from Irmo, what he has done in his career, it was a joy to watch. Playing from his freshman year all the way up into his junior season. One of those Beam recruits. He is the start of the Beam era in terms of recruiting, and you see the difference and the caliber of guys that Beam brought through the door. So I definitely want to give love to Nick Emeagwari, because I mean, again, in most years, that is your defensive player of the year. Thankfully, we got better, and other guys were able to step up. Like the guy that beat him out for defensive player of the year just so happened to be recognized as the best defensive player in college football. So, you know, take that for it. It's just unfortunate.
Other than that, I would definitely name Nick Emeagwari, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Nick Emeagwari, you're gonna do good in the Chiefs. Welcome to Chiefs Kingdom, Nate.
Hey, bro. So, anyways, the team MVP. This one, I had my answer before we started recording, but as we've been talking, it's gotten tough. I don't know. I kind of gotta let y'all boys have it first. I'll put the pressure to y'all boys and see what do y'all think. Who is the team MVP?
You got an ace boogie. You got an ace boogie.
Ah, shit. There it goes.
Team MVP, Luke Doty. All right, just playing.
All right, bro. Look,
let me reel it back in. I think team MVP, it has to go to the guy that, like you said earlier, Tease. Without him, well, actually, Tease and D, both of y'all said, without him, ain't no telling where this team would have gone. Ain't no telling. We went 9-3. We could have easily went 5-7 again. So it has to go to the guy that's the face of this franchise. Not franchise. Why the hell did I say franchise? The face of this team now.
Kind of is a franchise now. We paying boys, so hey.
All right. Well,
yeah.
And speaking of pay, we just gave him $2 million. So give it to Lenore Sellers, team MVP, man. This pains me. I know I'm probably wrong for this. It could have been between. My thoughts was either Lenore's, Demetrius Knight, or Kyle Kennard. It just has to go to Norris. If it weren't for Norris, we probably wouldn't have beat Clem Sucks. So give it to Norris, man.
I gotta agree. This was tough because I guess I was debating about whether I wanted to award guys multiple times in this team superlative, or did I want to do did I want to make sure everybody got their equal level of shine? And I was debating between Norris and Kyle Kennard, because it was Kyle Kennard for me at a point because the consistency from start to finish, like from game 1 to the end, Kyle Kennard played a factor. But then I think about the game, like you said, Ace. There are certain games that you don't win if not for Lenore Sellers. Missouri, you don't win that game without Lenore Sellers. Clemson, you don't win that game without Lenore Sellers. And you talk about even games such as LSU, like those games, though we didn't win it, like you look at each of those games and you're like, brother, he has the biggest impact on the game, man. And you know, it's the MVP is a quarterback award at the NFL level, and and I hate to say it, there's a reason for that, because this is the guy that touches the ball 99% of the time. This is the guy that dictates what's going to happen on the field 99% of the time. He's making the checks, he's making the reads, and because of his level of importance and because of what he did throughout the course of the year and his level of growth, it makes him the team MVP in my eyes. Like you just can't disregard how much better he got from start to finish and how impactful his playmaking was. No matter how good some of the defensive players were, I think we're talking about a team that was uberly talented. And when we look back on this group, like the same reason why Nick Imawari couldn't win defensive MVP for us is the same reason why Lenore Sellers is winning the team MVP over Kyle Kennard in our eyes. This team is just, it was good on good. It was everybody contributing each and every week. And you're gonna look back at some of the players from this team and be like, dog, we had a group. We had a real dominant group, and it's definitely gonna be probably one of my favorite groups in Carolina history when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I gotta agree with both of y'all, man. It's it's definitely Lenore's. I was also going back and forth between Cal Kennard because of, like you said, it's the consistency he had, from my opinion, from count all the way to the end. But when you look at Lenore's, like you said, also there's an impact. As the season went on, the impact got higher. I mean, when you look at the LSU game, most specifically, that game could have been won hadn't he got hurt, right? You know what I'm saying? I remember when he got hurt, I remember watching the TV, and I remember just knowing what he brings to the game in a situation like this, in a winnable game. If he's not on the field, there's no winning this game. We didn't win this game. And I mean, a lot of it came from the refs or whatever, but we knew if he wasn't playing, we weren't going to win this game. You look at a game like Bama, right? Go in a hostile environment the way he did, and the offense played as well as they could. They went down to the final drive, and that was more of a little freshman mishap. You know what I'm saying? Drop pass, whatever, cool. It happens, whatever. But also, you just look at the force that he had against a team like that, in an environment like that, like Bama. You know what I'm saying? And just going on the stretch, 7 straight. You get what I'm saying? And even towards the end of the game in Clemson, another hostile environment, you go in and you take over that whole game. You know what I'm saying? We see what he did on his legs. We see, what he can do in the air, and it's dog, this is something that you kind of have to be proudful of. Like someone who a lot of people really didn't think, especially for us, we really thought he was just probably going to be like a, standard second line quarterback. We knew he was going to be good. We just thought all right, man, he about to come in and get the job done. We're going to be cool. But nah, he's really making an impact around the country. Something that we haven't seen in a long time, especially at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's more of a national thing, more of a regional thing for us with quarterbacks. You got the Connor Shaws, Spencer Rattlers, but this man is nationally makes an impact as being one of the best quarterbacks, not in just SEC, but college football.
Yeah, bro. So, I mean, that wraps up the team superlatives, at least for the players. So now we can get into some of these coaching grades, man. So we're going to be grading Shane Beamer, Dowell Loggains, and Clayton White all individually. So I guess we can start. I'll start with the offense, man. I'll start with the offense. I'm going to give Dowell Loggains a grade of a. I'm going to give him a B. No B plus, no B minus. I'll give him a B because I thought at times where look, it's easy critiques for Dowell Loggains, but I thought he did figure out where the bread and butter was with his offense, and even in the passing game, I thought there were moments where they all clicked. When the RPO game started to become stronger within the play calls, you started to see some of the designs that they used, especially against. I want to say the game was against A&M, where I thought the designs were at their best in terms of, oh man, they're dialing it up, and even Missouri for that first half. Oh, I thought they were really dialing it up. Those were probably two of the best games I've seen Dowell Loggains coach and Garden and Black. I know some would say, there was some influence from other guys in the building, and I would agree with those guys. I think hence why that guy is taking over the position. But from what I saw, compared to what we seen the year before, I thought this was an improvement upon what we saw in the 2023 season. I'll give Dowell Loggains a B. standard B.
Yeah, I'll give him a B as well. My only gripe is just the lack of deep plays. Just and that could be both sides or whatever. That could be just the wide receiver talent that we're dealing with right now because we have a very short wide receiver group right now. Only tall one we have is Nick Harbor, and I think Dalvin Campbell, but I believe he was injured majority of the season last year. So it's the lack of height is what's getting us. But good thing we got like Donovan Murphy coming in. We got Nick Harbor and Maziel Bennett. He's only gonna get better. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I give Dowell Loggains a B. Then also I'm gonna give Mike Shula his flowers. I'm sorry, and Mike Shula has definitely put an influence on this offense as well. Because Tease and I, we are both Panthers fans, and we were there. Shula, coach OC during the glory days. In case people don't know, during the glory days of Carolina Panthers, Mike Shula was OC. Helped bring Cam Newton his first MVP, first and only MVP in franchise history for the Panthers. So, yeah, uh, give me a B for Dowell Loggains and Mike Shula.
I give him a B. Like I said, just the lack of just receiving depth that we have, and but a lot of that I can't really like throw like the deep presence in there because obviously like we know like Lenoris and what he has, but a lot of like at the end of the day he's still a freshman. You know what I'm saying? He ain't superhuman, so it's like I think it's just more of like just him trying to get into the rhythm of trying to like be a more assertive deep threat, but I feel like it was well balanced. I feel like you said, like without Lenoris in the game, coach just had to kind of do what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with Lenoris being in the game, it made him so much easier to just the design, just scheme more on the offensive end. But yeah, I give him a B too, man. You know me, Tease, bro. Like years of mediocre. A B is good. You know what I'm saying? We all know a B is good, but like a B for me is good, especially after years and years and years.
I thought you was gonna say C plus. I thought you was gonna say a C. I ain't gonna lie to you, just knowing you and how you, cause like I mean, we go all the way back to the preview show of last year. You wasn't with the BS. You was not kumbaya and what is you was not saying you wasn't that jovial coming. It wasn't nothing jovial coming out of coming from your way. But also I give credit for how he used Rocky Sanders too. You think about Rocky Sanders, who also needed a bounce back year after after his last year at Arkansas. Like Rocky Sanders had a career rejuvenation, and I think in part because of the offense that Dowell Loggains coached. I mean, Dowell Loggains didn't lean on him. The later we got in the year, you start to see Dowell Loggains lean on the legs of Rocky Sanders, and that played a factor into how we won some of those games down the stretch too. I mean, think about the Missouri call alone for Rocky Sanders. That's a hell of a call. That's a hell of a call. That's a hell of an individual play. But yeah, I again just kudos to Dowell Loggains and what he did. So next up would be Clayton White. Clayton White, man. Because after 2023, boy, oh buddy, brother, I ain't never wanted a black man fired so bad in my life, brother. I ain't gonna hold you. I was ready to give up.
Let me go. Let me hit it.
We're talking about the Florida game, ladies and gentlemen. The Florida game.
Holy dog. I mean, that game is my, I won't call it it's my personal hell. I remember the day where I didn't want to be doing, and just watching that game in real time. I'm like, dog, a part of me died that day. A part of me died that day for sure. But D, I'll let you hit it. What's your grade for him, bro?
Clay, last year, I ain't gonna lie, boy, you was under the F. Last year, fool. We wanted you out of here. That boy, hey, you remember when your mama told you better get them grades up next semester? Boy, you got that grade up. You hear me? I'm gonna give you. Go ahead and go and copy a little B plus. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all belt the ass. You already know what it is. A little B plus. I feel like a part of it is just helping recruit. Going in the port against someone like K Dub and Dylan Thompson is just the secondary. You've really adjusted for what you had. Now However, I'm gonna give you a B plus because you got to count off that next year. You feel what I'm saying? Look, I understand what you did this year. That cool. I'm talking to you for the future, cause like you know what I'm saying. It's kind of like having Golden State. You know what I'm saying?
It's work to be done. That's all I tell them.
Work needs to be done. I ain't gonna lie, boy. Hey, listen, I don't know what the hell you did at the end of the year, even with that loss in the ball game. Boy, you must have been the last coach in the locker room. You must have had a big ass sigh of relief, because boy, when I tell you we wanted you out of there last year, and you made up for it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna upgrade your grade to an A minus, cuz that's what I'm gonna do. I'm put you on. I'm
You know
put you
what?
on. I'm put you on honor roll, cuz.
You
Honor
may
roll.
know something. You may know something because I ain't gonna lie.
I'm glad.
I gave him my A minus too. The more I thought about it, the more I had to think about it. I'm like, Clayton did a hell of a job with this team, boy. But in terms of recruiting, in terms of applying said talent to the field, you got a top flight safety that came from your ranks, and he's one of yours. He's one of your kids. Kyle Kennard coming over and then changing his draft stock from unknown, probably going to be a mid-round draft pick coming out of Georgia Tech to now he's pushing possible first rounder. I think he's going to be a late first rounder, early second. He's one of those guys that people are definitely valuing high. I give Clayton White an A minus. His group from day one was there. It was there, man, and it showed up in big moments. I think about the A&M game. Think about some of the stops that you got in A&M, like some of the short yardage situations. Boy, yeah, that defense, that group, a group full of grown men, they played up to the standard. They elevated, and that's also giving credit to a group that we call one of the better groups in Carolina history. This is one of the better groups that at least I've gotten to watch. Like, this is since the Spurrier era. This is the best defense that I've seen since that Spurrier era. So yeah, that A minus for Clayton White for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say A minus as well.
Look at you, boy. You're on the honor roll. Congratulations, my guy.
Clayton, I don't know what you did, my brother. You made a fourth quarter comeback, my boy. Because I damn sure I blocked him on X. I blocked him on X. I screen recorded. You probably after the Florida game. Yeah, I blocked, and I think I reported him. I blocked and reported him on X. I sure did after the Florida game. I was so pissed.
No.
Yeah.
I
think I need to unblock. Oh yeah, I think I did. I did, man. I wanted him gone. I thought he was gonna be gone after that game. But that same year though, that month of November, he actually, you can see the tide where he made an adjustment. I don't know what it was. I think he went from a what's my man Gamecock Shark or whatever the hell he is. He called it. He was like, I think they switched from to a 3-3-5. I want to say. I think they switched to a 3-3-5 that November of that year, and it worked. I mean, we held Kentucky that year in check, and we also didn't allow Clemson to score an offensive touchdown that year. And then we carried that momentum and brought in Dylan Stewart and additions into the portal. I think he's probably in the room as well, bringing in guys that can bring the best into him. And also, Tease, do we have time to talk about the portal additions? Will we have time about that? I know we got 15.
We got time, bro. We got all day with this.
Okay. So, yeah, Clayton White, you have done one hell of a job this year, brother. I'm glad you're staying around. I was nervous for you about getting a head coaching job. I thought he was going to be the one for Dowell Loggains. But, hey, brother, you're here. But, like D hinted to, you got a tough task going into next year. You have a very tough task. You are losing a good bit of people on that defense. So, let's see.
If Clayton White is able to follow up last year's performance with a similar one in 2025, he's got to go take a head coaching job. Like, I'm gonna have to kick him out the building, because you got to go take a head coaching job at that point, because at no point will you be a hotter prospect if you're able to figure out how to replace your entire defensive line room, a top flight safety, if he's able to figure that out, Clayton White's got to go ahead and go get a head coaching job. But here we are, the last man on the list, Shane Beamer. What is the grade that we want to give Shane Beamer?
Broad River Beamer. Listen, hey, I give you an A+ for standing your ground, cause I give you that. Nah, but let me be for real though. I give you an A. I give you an A. Just to defy all odds, man, for what people thought that the year was going to go. A lot of people said 6-6. A lot of people said less than that, man. And you come out here and you get 9-4. One hell of a quarterback that you helped develop, the defensive core that you helped develop, the swagger that you had all year, the coach bringing in the coaches, so much beyond football that you've done this year. And you overcame a lot of that. Man. It's just like, again, you just like Clayton White, man. You gotta big shoes to fit. That 9 game, cuz nah. You know, a lot of people want to see that 1-0. 1-0-3. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that you were on the verge of making the playoffs, 7 straight, making the playoffs. You know, and I don't think there's nothing that he can't really like, you know, come against, you know, because he's proven, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people came for his head last year, you know, after this, especially when we seen the schedule. I remember when we seen the schedule. And then we said to ourselves, like, yo, like, what are we doing? What are we doing scheduling this for? And then we just had like a abysmal year that year. Like, what are we really doing? And then I remember we was talking like, this might be it. And, you know, like I said, for him to come and 9-4 and so many close could have been with Bama and LSU, getting to a bowl game, a good bowl game at that, and you know what I'm saying, just finish the season the way you did, man. That's an A, man. Get a man an A,
I I gotta agree. I was leaning I was leaning towards A minus at the start, and I'll stick with A minus. I'll stick with A minus. I thought that, like you said, like after some of the tough losses that this team took, the fact that this team was able to rebound, and you don't really see, it's hard to see that in college football because we know the margin of error is so small because it's either undefeated or nothing in order to have a chance at a natty. That's changed now with the playoff format, but still in the SEC, we know how tough it is. It's still going to be tough to make it out of that conference, no matter how good of a year you're having. And for Beam and this group to give themselves a chance there at the end speaks volumes to how bought in this group is, how much this team, you know, believes in what he's saying. Like you said, the culture he's built, that cultural love that they always talk about. You know, they put in all the hype videos. Like, I mean, that you have to really love your teammates and love your group to go out after going 3-3 to start the year, losing 2 straight, and to then answer back with 6 consecutive to end the year off. Being the hottest team in the nation by the time we ended the year on November 30th. That's a credit to what Beam has been as a head coach. He's been one of those guys that I mean he's a worker, bro. He's a worker. It's unorthodox. It doesn't necessarily look the way everybody would like it to on a week out basis, and he's just a guy that's just able to figure it out each and every week. And I know some people still want other guys. Like there's still some people within the fan base that want to look outward in terms of thinking that there's something better out there. I still think, and I stand on it, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, there's hard to find a coach that will have the proper care for this university that Beam has given it. And I think what he's been able to accomplish is because of his hard work, and he deserves all of what he's gotten in the consequent weeks and days since the season's been over with the new contract re-up. It's been earned. Everything he's gotten here has been earned because nothing about the situation was easy. But the team he put together, he still left some meat on the table though. He still left some food on the plate, and we talked about it, playing with your food in certain aspects. Like, hey, if you have the answers in that LSU game, because even when Lenore's going out, you still had a chance to get that done. Against Alabama, you had a chance to get that done. And I mean, and this is us nitpicking because we do want this program to be, in that tier, and it's gonna take winning games like that. There's still more you can give me, Bean. I know there is, and I know he knows that as well. So A minus for me for what Shane Beamer accomplished in 2024.
I'm keeping a buck with you. I was really about to say A plus until you brought up playing with food, so that's when I had to bring it back down to an A. Cause yeah, you Beam, you really was gonna be there for me. He was gonna have an A plus for me. But yeah, you played with food this past season. I think you know this, man. And it's like we said, this man got an extension for a reason. And anybody that is complaining about it, please go outside and touch grass. Go for a drive. Go downtown. Go on the highway. Go for a drive and rethink yourself. You as a Gamecock fan, please. You have not seen a coach that loved his university, that loved his players, that know his players, that is just so great in the community. It's hell, it got to be since Spurrier. This man loves this institution. This man loves this college. This man loves this team. And it's gonna take some time, still more work to do. So you gotta beat teams, you gotta beat them the brand teams like LSU and Alabama. You gotta beat teams like those. For us to get into that tier, for us to get into the playoffs. Because as you can see, 3 losses, unless you're in a weak conference, you're not gonna get in the playoffs, man. It's either 2 losses or less. I hate to say it. Don't matter how many rank wins you got, don't matter how the win streak is, no matter um if you're the most popular team right now. They're not gonna put you in because of that. Go ahead, D.
I think I was just gonna speak on the playoffs, so but that we can talk about that another time because I just want to speak on it just with Shane about that. For somebody who um pretty much like developed the team in the last like 7 games. You know what I'm saying? Even though we did lose 3 games, like that's I feel like for him and just like his philosophy as a coach, because I believe in 3 logical ways as a coach. It's like your playmaking and as a philosopher and a teacher, and how you impact them out the field as well. And I just feel like his philosophy as a coach for him to develop that team in the past 7 games, man. That I feel like no matter how many losses you had, and this is why I feel like his grade is great because you don't get that far and you don't get that hot to not be rewarded with something. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like he should have been rewarded more at the end of the year, not just for the team. Because like I said before, like a lot of people counted him out. A lot of people didn't expect it to be what it was. And you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people could say it was a Cinderella story, but like knowing us as fans and what we seen him and what he's capable of, that's like normal Shane Beamer. You know what I'm saying? That's just who he is. He's a believer. So like I definitely get what you're saying about like us winning losing 3 games, but I just feel like with the momentum that we had, not just from the nation, not just from the state, but the actual country, the country believed that we were like the hottest team, that he was the hottest coach going into the playoffs, and he deserved to be in the playoffs. So when you have an entire nation, like just have your back like that, like what more can you say about a coach? You know what I'm saying? And I just really wish, like, moving forward for him as a coach, like coming into the season next year, I feel like he should get the like more respect than he's getting because it's like, yo, like this is a well established coach. This is a great coach. You know what I'm saying? Not because he in the SEC, he's coaching against this, that, and that. Like no, like nationally, like he is a top coach. Like stop playing because feel me.
2 9 beam, baby. Man, damn, bro. With that being said, we still so real quickly because I do want to get to the transfer portal and then some of those guys that you were talking about, Ace, here to end off everything. We got some time here. What was everyone's pivotal moment of the 2024 season? What moment do you believe the season changed, whether for the good or for the bad? What was it, a play? Was it a game? Like, what is the 2024 pivotal moment for each of you guys from this past season?
I gotta say, I say this again, and I said this after the game was over with. Even though we lost that game, it has to be the Alabama game. It sparked us. The boys was tired of losing close games, minus Ole Miss. But the boys were tired. They were hungry after that game. So I think if it was for that game there, I don't think we get a well motivated group to go on and win 6 games in a row. So
I say Clemson, and I'm not saying that because it's the rival game. I'm just saying that because we seen a part of Norris that could be possible for the future, or not even better. We seen him take over a game as if in like there was no fear. Like if I had to describe like
demon
this man
mode.
in that final game, bro, any game from Derrick Rose's rookie year. That's what I got. I got like rookie year Derrick Rose from the North Sellers in that game. You get what I'm saying?
It was crazy. That was absolutely a carry job by Lenore. It felt like 2018 Braun. Like it felt like we're not. If we lose, it ain't gonna be because of me. Like we gonna get to the finish line. I'm gonna find a way because I hate to tell you, I didn't mean I was talking a lot during that game. I did not see that happen. Lenore Sellers, like you talk about how he played in that Clemson game. Just again, just refused to lose. Like it was one of those moments where you watch the guy grow up in real time. You watch the guy that just that competitive advantage, that competitive edge that certain guys have that elevates them in certain moments like that. That's what we saw out of Lenore's in that Clemson game. But for me, the pivotal moment, and like you said, I can't remember who said it, but the Alabama game being that moment makes sense. And it's the moment that they refer to even as a team that galvanized this group and that being taught to the guys and they still wanted, they were still all in on trying to make this season a success. But for me, the Texas A&M game, because that felt like the first moment that you beat a team with a pulse when they're coming in as hot as fish grease, and you got to figure out like, hey, how are you going to get this done? Because Oklahoma happened the week before, but I think we all figured out quickly Oklahoma wasn't what we thought they were going to be in the SEC, and they were a team that was pretty much, very much finding themselves in this conference. But Texas A&M felt like a game that it felt like a game that that we're known for losing. When there's a team that's coming in with any type of momentum, when there's a team that has any type of signs of life, like, hey, can you stand up to can you stand up to get up to the podium and make a statement? And that's what I think this team did. I thought Clayton White's unit made probably the biggest statement in that game in terms of how well they played defensively. You talk about a freshman quarterback they had coming in that was being touted as one of the more dangerous freshmen, in the nation in that moment. That defense stepped up still. You talk about his offense. His offense was able to figure it out. And you talk about Lenore's, he had his moments. I thought from a coaching standpoint, that was probably the best game I've seen Dowell Loggains and that offensive group called in his time here in South Carolina. So I'm definitely leaning on Texas A&M being that my pivotal moment of the 2024 season. So with that being said, I know Ace, you had some. I know you wanted to hit some transfer portal stuff.
Yes, I got the list pulled up in the group chat. Give me 1 second. Yes, me. Yeah, you got an iPad. They see. All right, so I'm gonna ask the group who y'all think was the best addition from this transfer portal class, judging off this list that we got here.
Did you send the list in the group? Because I haven't got it yet.
You haven't seen it? Yeah, it's in the Gym Droppers Sports notes.
Oh, the notes. All right, yeah. Hold on, let me go ahead real quick. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't see it. I don't know if did you just add it in there?
Oh yeah, I shared it in. I just put it in the group
I
chat.
don't know.
I put
I about to say, yeah, I don't know why my job probably taking a minute. We'll edit all this out.
Yeah, I got it in the it's sending through in the chat right now.
All right, bet. Yeah. Okay. All right, so ask that question. So take that from the top. Ask that question.
Right, so I want to ask the group here. Who do y'all think was the best addition of the transfer portal? How do y'all feel?
If you know, if you know, this is tough. It's just tough because if I'm being honest, Aaron Nolan is the one that pops out, obviously, in everyone's mind. But Aaron Nolan, at least, hopefully, not for another year, we won't see him have to start games for South Carolina. For another year. So if I had to lean on anything, I'd probably say Jaylen Brown out of Missouri. I'd probably say Jaylen Brown out of Missouri, just because of what we were losing in that edge rushing room. And do we, have we added a guy that can be the complement to Dylan Stewart again? Like, are we going to have a tandem of pass rushers, in the building? If that's what we got, then I think we got the right guy.
And I think it's just majority of these guys, they didn't see a lot of playing time on the field. But it's like former 5 stars, like let's see, what's my man that came from Texas A&M? Gabriel Dendy, former 5-star defensive tackle. Didn't see too much. Didn't see too much on Texas A&M, but I think these are guys that with the right coaching group, with the right practice, the right reps, these guys would definitely be a significant change for us. Another good portal class for South Carolina. Like another one, we two actually that definitely is gonna strengthen this group that's already pretty strong is the DBs, the corners. I think that's really gonna be how the D line was the strength of this past season. I think the corner room is definitely gonna be our biggest strength this year with the addition of Miles Norwood and Brandon Cece. Sisi, I can't say, brother. I apologize for butchering your last name, but yeah, I like those two pickups there. So, overall, the biggest one that flashed to me, I want to say, give me Rashul Faison out of Utah State, running back. Give me that.
That's going to be one of the more impactful ones when you talk about a guy that is a dual threat guy out of the backfield. Is that Jahmyr Gibbs a duality of a running back? Add that splash to the backfield that we didn't quite have. Because we love Rocket, but we didn't have that big play splash guy that can just break one off for a big game. And now mind you, Oscar Attaway coming back. Also, our guy out of South Carolina State. Well, oh my God, what's his name? Juwan Howell. I'm not giving up on him. I saw flashes in that Illinois game that are to be built upon. Obviously, one game won't give you everything that you're trying to see from a guy. I think from an entire offseason, another offseason in the SEC weight program, and with the strength and conditioning staff, he'll be ready to go. I think we'll have one of the more underrated running back rooms in the conference. I think it's not a name, it's not a flashy name in that room, but trust and believe when the rubber hits the road and we start playing games, that group I think is going to be one of the more unsung groups.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock out because I'm a big running back guy. In my days in high school, I wanted to be a running back, but that ain't happening. But anyway, Rashul Faison from Utah State. I remember watching him at Utah State, just watching highlights of him. And the dude, like you say, he's a dual threat. He's a guy that you want. And like you said, the running back room is going to be very special, for him coming in, especially with a lot of people saying, like, hey, next year, with Rocket leaving, how do we accommodate to that as well? But, yeah, he's definitely going to add, some talent in that running back room. But, that's just what I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for that because I feel like what made Lenore's work was to have a complement in the running back position, especially now where the running back position is like, as what people are saying, is resurrecting. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Saquon Barkley. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely going to give a great compliment to Lenore's and what he can do, and just like how it helps, the offense flow. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are really, accommodating to his legs. What can the backs do? How can the backs help? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with, man. I'm real hyped for the backs. I'm real hyped for the backs this year.
That being said, Tease, how you feeling about going into next year? Is that the final thing you wanna?
Do we? Okay, so I'll just I'll give a quick thought on what I think about 2025. If I think this receiver room, I know we didn't add anybody. I know there isn't any big name coming to save this receiver group for what it was last year. But I think the guys that we're bringing back, I think Matt Mazio, Nick Harbor, Jared Brown, the newcomers, Malik Clark, Donovan Murphy. I believe Donovan Murphy will see very early in his career in South Carolina. I believe all of these guys. I think what they're doing. I think this group is going to surprise a lot of people. And remember, I said this I think immediately after the season was over with, that I believe this group is going to shock people in terms of the amount of growth. You talk about what Nick Harbor. You look at what was just recently said about him in terms of he's not doing indoor track this year. He's focusing on football. Football will be the focus, and I believe the leap and the what we're all expecting is coming this season. This will be the moment. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a guy that just ups and bolt again. They can up and bolt to the league after this year, but I believe you're going to see him take a huge step forward. And with that step forward, and the step forward I believe Lenoris is making right now, each and every day in the off season, and guys like Mazio Bennett who do have to elevate themselves because, as well as Mazio played in his freshman year, still, there could have been more. Like how he started out and how he finished, we didn't see the consistent level of ascension that we would have liked to see from out of his development. I believe this offense and that receiver room in this offense, man, they're gonna be the strength of this team this year. That no question about it.
Yeah, I can see the receiving room being the strength, especially with the key guy, the wide receiver one. I'm glad, Nick Harbor. I'm so glad that you made a business decision to be locked in fully into the off-season workouts. Instead of taking mental reps, you actually doing the reps. And I get it. I know track is another love of yours, but this football, bro, this got to be your main piece here. This has to be. And I'm glad you're locking in. And Donovan Murphy, man, this is my prediction here. He's coming for somebody's position. I don't know who it's gonna be. Either Mazio, Jared Brown. When they're to this one y'all got to step up. Somebody got to step up. Cause Donovan Murphy, he gonna see the field. And that's what's gonna make. And you know what? That's what's gonna make all those guys be better. Like, nah, you ain't coming for my position, bro. Hey, you gonna come in, but I'm taking this position right now. So I think that's the goal, bro. I think the goal here is get Nick Harbor into the league this year, the best he can. If Nick get 8 to 10, and Nick get like 8, well maybe 7 to 10 touchdowns, maybe close to like 1,500 receiving yards, something like that, he's going to the league.
I don't even think he needs that, bro. I think at his size, if he gives you 800 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns, that's enough. Because I think because of the physical attributes, the league will be in love with him because potential. Everybody's favorite word is potential. So he can potentially be, what I'm saying, and his physical profile is. I'm telling you, the physical profile he meets, and if he's able to put the numbers and the film on, on the board, the tapes you're going to see come draft time are going to be out of this world. It's going to be some wild ones, but we know some of the guys he's going to be likened to at his size if he can meet it all with film and stats. So I think the goal if you can make Nick Harbor an NFL guy this year, that's a huge leap. Now I think in my preference, I would say come back even if you have that year, because there's still more money to be made. And coming back and playing with another guy that I think can be just as good, what I'm saying? If, I don't know, what I'm saying? I'm just throwing stuff out there. But, I think there's a lot of money to be made, though. Absolutely. But like you said, Miles Norwood and Brandon Sis out of North Carolina State. Brandon Sis, I really hope I'm saying your name right, big dog. And if not, trust me, we will get it right at some point in time throughout the year. That sign is going to be, it's huge. I felt it was huge when we got it. I don't know if everybody around the nation is going to look at it that way, and it doesn't really matter whether they do or not. But I think with Vakari Swain, who I think is clearly CB1 in terms of sheer talent, he's CB1. Judge Collier, I hope to see Judge Collier be a staple. Be a not necessarily a star, but just a consistent piece. That's kind of what he was in some of his highs. I do need you to be better. We do. I'm being nice about it. I'm trying to go around. You just be better. That's kind of respectfully. Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, this is your room now. Like those two guys, Judge Collier and Bakari Swain. This is your room. You got DQ Smith. DQ Smith, another guy that I know.
Need you to be better, sir.
We need you, brother. Because some would say, and I don't know who said it. Some would say we ain't really seen you ball since your freshman year. Some would say that. I don't know who said that. But the critics have been loud. And again, those three guys, if we're gonna be a good team, Bakari Swain, Judge Collier, DQ Smith, you guys, but you three need to be the best guys in the room. Need to be the best guys of the defense overall. You guys need to be the best guys in the room, alongside Dylan Stewart, of course.
That D
But
line in that linebacker group, it's gonna take some time, and that's another thing. Gamecock fans, this is a forewarning. It's gonna take some time for that D line and middle linebacker group to get right and get chemistry. Like we not too long. By the Missouri, what's our first SC game? What, Missouri or something like that? I think. Well, hell, not even that. I think Georgia Tech. We gotta have it together then too. Honestly.
yeah, look, bro, it's it ain't easy. I will say Brian Thomas though. Oh man, I mean I forgot about Brian Thomas. He needs to be the guy on everybody's watch list. He's the guy that he's gonna be the starter opposite of Dylan Stewart. If he turns out to be what he's flashed this past season, I think we got something. But again, like you said, I'm definitely gonna be patient with this defensive group. But I don't know. Do we got anything else, man? I think that's about it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we touched on offensive street.
I have not given. My 2025.
Oh shoot! Oh.
Now's not the time to be realistic, but I gotta be me. Keep y'all shit together. You ever heard the term that says "get your shit together"? Y'all better keep it together. Clayton, what Clayton? Listen, I'm listen directly at Clayton. That's who I'm staying at. Listen, brother. You almost ain't had no job a year ago. You understand me? You did right with recruiting. You went out and got some guys. You went out in the portal. You did your thing. I'm gonna need you to run it back again this year, because you had one hell of a season on the defensive end, and it's gonna be tough to match what you had last year. I ain't gonna hold you. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, what you got, Tease? I know you got something, but what you on?
I'm chill. I'm just listening. I'm trying to hear a good word, brother.
Right. Listen, Clay, just keep it together. I feel like the defense is not gonna be as good. Let me say, it's not gonna be as good as it was this year. I think Clay is gonna have momentum to, evaluate in a way where he can manage. And I feel like that's just one thing he's done this year. He was able to manage, two exceptional, rushes on the line, and a secondary that was really good. I think Nick, like y'all said, cutting out track this year and focusing on football, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's going to be a huge boost for him. Now, I'm not sure if doing track this year was helping him with conditioning. I'm not sure, because a lot of athletes who do run track, it kind of helps with their conditioning. It helps with so much. So I'm not sure. But it will help with, like, injury prone. He can rest his hamstrings, with that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that is a big boost. And I think Shane just comes in with a little more edge, especially after the bowl loss. Something about Shane that we've seen over the past couple of years is like, we know coaches who don't like to lose, but he just don't like to lose, but he doesn't show it, because he has like this persona where it's like, I'm cool, but it's like when I'm here, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna see you again. I mean, it don't have to be Illinois, but it's like, yeah, I'm gonna see you again.
Oh no, he showed it.
Take care.
Oh, he showed it before.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he showed. Yeah, Brian Revere came out.
No, he kicked the cooler after the Florida loss. He broke his foot.
Yeah, but it's like, but it's like a calmness to it though. I get it, like, but it's also like, it's unpredictable until you see it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the Florida loss. Like, yeah, like I don't know how the hell a cooler break your foot, but I mean, something about it for me. I just feel like next year we're gonna take that next step, and I can't wait for that. I really can't wait for that.
I can see a scenario where, like, piggyback off you did, like for the defense, the offense has to carry. Like, you know how the defense carried us and kept us in games. I think the offense is gonna be more so the strength to keep us in game, especially with the running back room being loaded. They help us out, take a load off as well, and then also I think the wide receiver room is definitely gonna be stronger than what it is. Tight end is pretty stacked as well. It's gonna be led by Michael Smith. I think Brady Hunt will be back as well. So, and our O line that actually we got to give flowers to. It actually got better throughout the years versus than what it was last year. I think the O line is way better, but that's gonna be a good strength for us as well.
Josiah
Again,
Thompson. Oh, sorry, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Josiah Thompson deserves a lot of love. I think he's also one of the true freshmen that we did not mention him at all, but that's a good thing because if we're talking about you as an offensive lineman, typically it's not good. Josiah Thompson, one of the best young freshman offensive linemen. I mean, in the SEC, dealing with those pass rushers, he did a fantastic job of holding his own for sure. But yeah, like you said, man, like the offense is gonna have to carry, especially in a game like Virginia Tech, where I predict that's gonna be a track meet early. I think that's gonna be. I think that game opens up as a track meet, and we gotta figure out our way through that one. But do we have anything else? I didn't mean to cut you off there, Ace, but do we have anything else?
Good now. Good now.
One more thing.
Oh,
I'm sorry. One more thing. Shout out to Gamecock Nation, man. Shout out to all of y'all like who constantly sticks by and just support all of that. Cause man, like what a ride. It's been a ride. It's been a beautiful ride this year, man. I can't wait for next year though.
Absolutely, bro. And with that being said, this was one of the best seasons that we've had on this podcast in terms of just recording an actual good team and get to talk about a good team for once. This was a great year. Obviously, Ace, we added you, at the start at around coming up in a few months is gonna make a year.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that addition, I definitely feel like it changed this podcast. Like I said, I mean, it definitely brought forth a lot more Gamecock supporters. This has been a hell of a year. It's been probably one of the most fun years I've had recording during the football season for sure. And I mean, shoot, bro, it was a hell of a year, dog. I mean, I can't really say too much more, bro. I'm just geeked up about like what's to come, what happened this year, how this year went. I think for the team, for us, I think it was God, bro, probably it's gonna be one of my favorite years in hindsight, looking back on it, because it's all documented. Like all this is gonna be documented in comparison to the Spurs years. Like we got to talk about this each and every week. You can see the progression from ODU to LSU to Bama to Ole Miss. Like you got to see all of that happen in real time, and it was definitely a special year for sure. So with that being said, thank you all that watch. Thank you all that listen each and every week. Thank you, Gamecock Nation. Thank you to my co-host for doing this every week, because I mean, y'all boys don't understand. It's tough to get up and do this every week.
There you go, pulling something out the corner again.
Yeah,
we gonna get you a sign. We're gonna get you a sign that say corner on the back of it, and just with an arrow. So
yeah, we got you.
Pick something up, it's gonna light up.
I'm gonna get more towels. There's gonna be more towels on the way. Trust and believe. We're
going more towels are definitely on the way. And with that being said, this was the 2024 South Carolina Year-End Review Show. I'm your host, Shanti Stewart. This is D'Angelo Stevenson. This is A. Smith. We are the Gym Dropper Sports Podcast, and we out.